Good evening.
Hi.
Hello, how are you? Oh, good. We've got Catherine and we've got Pandora. Is there someone else there? No. All right. Well, how's your day going so far, everyone? Good.
So far, so good.
Good. Good. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started. All right. I'll mute everybody. Pandora, how was your lunch did you go to lunch today?
Yeah,
How
I
was
have
it?
my machine back. It was
Yeah.
good. Nora brought her new toy with her and showed
Oh,
me.
was it nice?
Nice. Yeah, it's really
Oh,
nice. It's
so
got lots of bells and whistles. Catherine, do you have a Pro machine yet?
I do.
Do you?
I have a Luminex. What did she get?
She got ProCat.
oh,
Oh,
nice.
she got the expression.
I think that's it. Yeah, yeah,
Nice.
yeah. It was
Uh,
just like, ooh. So she didn't need my student wave anymore.
and
That's all
you're
right. I do.
get it back.
I've already got it working. So
Awesome. Has she used her new machine yet?
yeah, she said it's been a lot of fun playing around with it.
Good, good.
So, but yeah, the
Oh,
food is good, but we missed you. Did you get
oh,
everything done that you needed to at the DMV?
I did. I couldn't believe how fast it was.
Yeah, makes a difference when you make an appointment.
Yes, I know. And you could just feel the stares like, you know what I mean? People are looking at you like, I've been here for 3 hours, you know, but that's, I guess, the perks of going to the DMV and having an appointment. So
Yeah,
I'll never walk
definitely.
in again. I stood in line for a little bit just to get the initial I'm here. And then
Right.
once I did that, it was
Yeah.
a, a breeze. I mean, I think I waited 10 minutes. So,
Catherine, have you seen Zootopia? The movie Zootopia?
No, but I know it. I saw a preview and I saw that scene. I know what you're talking about.
Oh, you guys
the
have to watch
sloths.
it. Seriously, the sloths at the DMV. It's so funny.
I need to see it.
Okay.
Definitely. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. Here we go. Pack, buy, somehow, mad, girlfriend, serious, daughter, sent, tight, simply, trust, imagine, wind, chuckle, bar, pink, shove, ball, sight, drag, vade, human, truth, share, area, concern, shouldn't, team, escape, mumble, often, search, apparently, attempt, sun, within, hand, cute, lead, memory, anger, fly, paint, bottle, busy, comment, exclaim, avoid, grow, gray, mirror, gasp, hallway, deer, star, sick, cat, counter, interrupt, none, blink, spend, usual, worse, race, respond, computer. All right, now let's do some fun little phrases, short phrases. Here we go. Just the same. Take a little. After the game. Over the river. It's only me. Think before you act. Try your best. Live and play. Any old time. Study and learn. Mom means it. The good American. A little boy. Back off. We want to go. A small house. It's still there. Set it up. I study in school. I don't feel well. Point it out. Read the sentence. Big and small. Such a big house. Show and tell. They went here. Good and plenty. Even the animals. I think so. The ice cream man is going by my house. If you hear that, that is why. All right. Now we're going to do some words that have the short vowel versus the long vowel. We started this the other day and I'm going to finish it today. Bar, bear, tar, tear, sir, sire, pure, purr, how, hail, till, tile, bit, bite, pal, pale, pass, pace, tell, teal, hit, height, prim, prime, speck, speak, strand, strained, limb, lime, cleanse, clean, scat, skate, clam, claim, still, style, plan, plain, sweat, sweet, sham, shame, trill, trial, snack, snake, check, cheek, glass, glaze, shack, shake, slat, slate, cub, cube, char, chair, mutt, mute, cut, cute, den, dean, men, mean. And I see that Nora joined us. Hello, Nora. It's good to have you. How do you like your new machine?
Oh, I love it.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
much fun to play with? Yeah.
When did you get it?
I just picked it up last Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mhm.
Nice. All right. Let's do some consonant compounds. These focus on initial SPR. Here we go. Spring sprung when she spread sprigs. He stepped spryly instead of sprinting in the spring. A springboard is not for springbok and spring chickens. Spread the spruce and sprig the sprouts. Springwood is in spruce, but not sprinklers and sprockets. To sprunt and sprint, you must be spry. She sprained her ankle sprawling. The spray from the skunks spread. Sprat loons are caught by springy spratters. Under the spreading tree, the sprightly sprinter sped. A springboard is like a sprite. The sprocket was spruced up. A young proud sprout is sprightly. Your sprocket is sprung. Old men are sprier. The springy sprite was sprightly. In the spring we have sprinklers. He was only a sprout, but he could sprint. Hope springs eternal. A springboard is springy. All right. Now this is the it drill. Here we go. The cash, the sale, the dish. Trade it, store it, raise it. The stick, the house, the chain. Time it, tape it, keep it. The dog, the cat, the job. Pay it, top it, say it. The wit, the ham, the cap. Tip it, set it, cut it. The same, the rock, the dime. Boil it, kick it, name it. Leave it, paint it, state it. The truck, the chair, the laugh. Plant it, grade it, place it. The river, the share, the place. Turn it, the home, sell it, the hair. Pass it, the flag, the pal, wet it, the rat, hit it, the cup, pat it, turn it, lug it, the hut, grow it, the pear, spell it, the shale, trace it, the trial, put it, the case, eat it, the bag, tap it, the pit, pace it, the suit, leave it, the smoke, drill it, the force, play it, the type, tag it, the cab, row it, the hay, hear it, the last, dress it, the block, drive it, the pride, plan it, the race, let it, the egg, row it, the hay, hear it, the last, dress it, the block, shake it, the right, track it, the trail, the lake, open it, meet it, the safe, the rag, ask it, peg it, the lot, rub it, the keg, call it, the wind, prove it, the plane. All right, now I've got some words here that are focusing on possessive there, the adverb or pronoun there, the contraction there, and then they are. All right, here we go. There is, they're right, they're gone, they are fine, there should, there was, their case, they're good, they are well, their house, they're there, they are here, they're late, their plan, their will. Here are the sentences. There they go. Were you there? Will you be there? They're running the show. They are going to paint. They're going to appeal. Their plan is good. Their way is right. Their entry won. They're winning it. There is one method. They like their job. They're away on a trip. There is never enough. Their case was postponed. They are leaving. There is no way. Their car is here. They're filing today. The brief is there. Their case was lost. They are going to be there. The clerk is over there. They know their rights. They're waiting. Is there an appeal? Their way is best. They are late again. Get there quickly. Their house is new. They are arguing the case. They're really trying. There can be no decision. Lay it over there. Their motion was denied. What is their point? They are in trouble. Is it over there? What is their bill? They are going to file it. They are ready now. There are many objections. There is no excuse. What is their reason? What is their argument? All right. Now I've got some consonant compounds and their doublets. Here we go. Sharp turn, steady grip, small snack, clear glass, slight smirk, free press, grilled trout, clean pants, ground level, stone step, blue sky, thin blouse, hard term, thick stew, white clouds, quick twist, smokestack, field crops, black stripe, hard drive, gray barn, heart trouble, marked cards, snowstorm, bent twig, steep climb, plastic trim, gray stripe, cross stitch, great trip, gold plate, broad brim, landscape, wild stag, dark brown, cold spell, shrill squeal, slow drip, bleached blonde, flesh wound, firm stride, cruise ship, great threat, frail child, drop cord, cheap shot, feeble cry, strong brace, sweet shop, brief stay, double play, cruel sneer, bridge span, warm breeze, blood stain, grand slam, wheelchair, green paint, short stack. All right. Now, we're going to go into literary, but this is kind of a literary / number drill. Okay, it's on land description. Okay, so we're going to start out with this. I will read this at 120. Okay, all right, here we go. Ready? Beginning at the northwest corner of the southwest quarter of the southeast quarter of section 23, township 13 south, range 19 east, Mount Diablo base and meridian, as said section is shown on the United States government township plats, being also a point on the existing city limits of the city of Fresno, thence easterly along the north line of the southwest quarter of the southeast quarter of said section, being also along the existing city limits of said city, to a point 137.49 feet west of the northeast corner of the west half of the southwest quarter of the southeast quarter of said section, thence southerly along a line parallel with and 135.69 feet west of the east line of the west half of the southwest quarter of the southeast quarter of said section, being also along the existing city limits of said city, a distance of 158.41 feet, thence easterly along a line parallel with and 168.32 feet south of the north line of the west half of the southwest quarter of the southeast quarter of said section, being also along the existing city limits of said city, a distance of 137.49 feet to the intersection with the east line of the west half of the southwest quarter of the southeast quarter of said section, thence southerly along the east line of the west half of the southwest quarter of the southeast quarter of said section, being also along the existing city limits of said city, a distance of 876.59 feet, more or less. All right, so we'll stop there. There's a lot more, but we're going to stop there and we'll finish this tomorrow. All right. I have an article here. It's called, "Do You Have the Disease Known as Mediocrity?" All right. And I will start at 120 and I'll work my way to 160. Okay, so if you're pushing, then you just get what you can, don't get frustrated. Here we go. So you are going to hear mediocrity, mediocre, toxicity, innovate, metaphorically, audacity, I think I said mediocre, pessimism. All right, here we go. Ready? The disease. Mediocrity is a chronic disease that occurs when a person settles for being just all right, when they were meant to shine as a beacon of light. The symptoms. No two cases of mediocrity are the same. Signs and symptoms may come on suddenly or develop slowly, may be mild or severe, and may be temporary or permanent. Some people with mediocrity experience flares. These are episodes in which a person is motivated to be the best person they can be, then upon experiencing challenges, revert back to living a mediocre life. The symptoms of mediocrity, though obvious, are often overlooked and mistaken as a normal way of life. The most common signs and symptoms of mediocrity include refusal to take chances and follow one's dream from fear and low self-esteem, pessimism and irritability at other people's success from the bitterness of unfulfilled potential, lack of peace in one's life from the toxicity of negative people and their environments, self-destructive actions due to lack of vision of the great future that lies ahead. The cure. Mediocrity is curable. However, treatment is dependent upon your signs and symptoms. The most common cures to control mediocrity are below. 1. Remove negative people from your life. Ourselves, as well as others, will never know how great our lives can be when we are surrounded by negative people. Stop making excuses to remain in bad company. I love them. I've known them for such and such. It doesn't matter. If they are not illuminating your life and pushing you toward being the best you can be, let them go. 2. Build up a tolerance toward rejection and failure. Even if you fail, keep going. Even if you get rejected, keep trying. As Denzel Washington says, if you hang around the barber shop long enough, eventually you will get a haircut. Do not stop until someone cuts your hair. Metaphorically speaking, of course, but if you need a haircut, get that too. 3, get some drive. You have got to have drive. The drive to say, I want this extremely bad. Then make the moves. 4, be patient with the process and maximize your current opportunity. Too often we want to jump into the deep end of the pool before learning how to swim in the shallow end. The shallow end of the pool provides you the opportunity to make mistakes, learn, innovate, and get great. Once you hit that deep end, there will be no floor for you to walk on, and there's no guarantee a lifeguard will be on duty. Stop being so anxious for the deep end until you have fully taken advantage of the shallow end of the pool. 5. Have the audacity to have big courage. If you want big things from life, you have to have big courage. All that can happen is no. You've experienced and survived worse things than a no. So go for it. 6. Stop looking for approval and trying to be important. Just do the work. Devote yourself to important work, and importance will follow, not the other way around. 7. Stop being afraid to let your light shine. You don't put a lamp under a table. You put it on top so it can shine. You have to shine. 8. Stop hating on other people. You cannot get mad at other people for making their life happen. They have the same 24 hours you do, so use them. You were born to be great, not mediocre. Be who you were born to be. All right. And this is from the website www.livinglikemaya.com/WP-do-here's-the-cure/ That's a long one. So, all right. Let's do some expert opinion. Okay. Let me just date this. I'm going to start at 140. Okay. Here we go. I'll work my way to 160 with this one. Your Honor, if I may, I would like to read into the record Dr. Lane's report. I examined Brian Crandall in my office on July 24, 2013. This patient is a 20-year-old pipe fitter who had worked at Hillshire Brothers starting in May of 2013. His last day of work there was October 7, 2012, which was the date of his injury. In the man's work, he sets up a power drill into a freestanding machine. He will then run fiberglass through a resin, the resin in the past being polyester, but being more recently epoxy resin. The resin has caused the patient problems. The epoxy gave him a good deal of sinus problems and nasal problems and some respiratory problems. The polyester made him dizzy and nauseated. As he was working on October 7, 2012, his right hand caught on the drill and was crushed. The patient was taken to the Cleveland Community Hospital, where he was kept for 11 days due to complications. He understands that he sustained fractures above his wrist. A plate was put into his wrist, and the wrist is now very tender. He returned to Ohio General Hospital 2 weeks ago, and that plate needed to be removed. The sutures are still in place. While the patient worked, he frequently inhaled the dust of fiberglass. It bothered him a good deal. and the patient began coughing. His nose would often bleed, and he became short of breath with exercise. The patient recalled that of the chemicals he worked with, he can name 4: polyester in its resinous form, methylene chloride, epoxy resin, and a material he calls gel coat. The patient has smoked about half a package of cigarettes a day for 3 years, leading up to 1.5 pack days. The blood pressure is 110/80. The chest is negative. The right hand has limited mobility. The abdomen is negative. The chest is clear. The lateral view of the chest is within normal limits. An anterior posterior view of the chest shows some increase in markings suggestive of a of a bronchitis caused by the mold, but no other abnormalities. The patient did not work at this job for very long. The damage that has been caused suggests that the patient probably has not yet developed a working disability. However, in the future, he should no longer work with plastics. That is my medical opinion. So I noticed here, and even the reporter had sick next to it. It talked about his date of the accident. His last day of, or maybe the last day of work was October 7 of 2012, but it said that he started there in 2013, I think. I can't remember. I'm trying to look for it, but it didn't make sense of the dates. But I mean, he said it, so the person writing it is going to write exactly what they hear. So it's just a good example, writing exactly what you hear. And then you can put sick next to it, letting them know, hey, I didn't make the mistake. They said it. So, all right, let's go ahead and finish up our jury charge from this morning. We've got about half left, okay? Again, I'm going to start at 140, work my way to 160. Here we go. The burden of proof rests upon the plaintiffs to prove by the preponderance of the evidence that they have performed their part of the agreement in all material respects and in accord with the agreement. If you find from the preponderance of the evidence that the plaintiffs have done everything as agreed upon in a good and workmanlike manner, then you will find a verdict for the plaintiffs for $28,770. And if you so find, then you need to consider this case no further. But if you fail to find from the preponderance of the evidence that the plaintiffs have fully performed their agreement and that the defendant has suffered damages by reason of defective performance, then you will consider what damages the defendant has sustained. A builder is responsible to his employer for defective performance and is liable either to an action for damages on a deduction from the price agreed upon. The defendant in this case has elected to seek recovery in damages for the alleged defective construction. In such a case where the owner seeks damages, he can recover only the actual damages sustained, and he must exercise due care and diligence in minimizing the damages and try to prevent such damages as much as he reasonably can. The burden of proof rests upon the defendant to prove by the preponderance of the evidence that the defendant has sustained damages by reason of defective performance of the agreement on the plaintiff's part. and the extent of the damages so sustained by the defendant. And if you find from the preponderance of the evidence that the defendant has sustained damages in excess of the benefits received, then the defendant is entitled to a verdict in his favor for the damages so sustained by him. But if on this question of damages you find the evidence evenly balanced or preponderating in the plaintiff's favor, then you will find that the defendant is not entitled to any damages. To briefly sum up the issues in this case, if you find that the plaintiffs have fully performed their agreement, then you will find a verdict in favor of the plaintiffs in the sum of $28,770 with interest thereon at 8% from and after May 20, 2006. If you find that the plaintiffs did not fully perform their agreement, but that the value of their services is equivalent to the payments already made by the defendant, then your verdict will be a verdict of no cause of action, in which event neither party recovers anything, and they are left as they are now. If you find that the performance of the plaintiffs was defective and that the defendant has sustained damages in excess of the benefits received, then you will find a verdict in favor of the defendant for the damages so sustained. You will return only one of the 3 verdicts submitted to you. All right. Go ahead and start Q&A. This is a deposition. It's going to start. Let's see here. I believe it's defense. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to start at 120. I'll work my way to 160, okay? Here we go. Would you state your name for the record? Amy Eve Zuda. Do you have how many M's in Amy? Just one. And can you spell your last name? Z-U-T-A. Have you ever been known by any other name? No. Last name has always been Zuda? Zuda. Your date of birth, please? 4/19/97. Where do you presently reside? In Fontana. What is the address? 8641 Orange Avenue. With whom do you live there at the Fontana address? With my parents. And their names? Anna Violet, Violet, V-I-O-L-E-T, Zuda. And your father? He doesn't live with us. Okay, just your mother and you? And my brothers. How many brothers do you have? 2. Your eldest? Ray. Ray? Raymond, yes. How old is he? He's 21. He lives there with you? Yes. Anyone else? Aaron. How old is Aaron? Aaron is 16. Both of them have the last name Zuda? Yes. Have you ever had your deposition taken before? No, I haven't. I'm presuming that you've had an opportunity to speak a little bit with your attorney about the nature of the deposition. Is that correct? Yes, she has. Yes. If you hadn't, you're doing well. What we're going to do today is have an informal question and answer session where I'll ask you questions, Mr. Lomas might ask you questions, and your attorney might even ask you questions. And then you'll give us answers as best you can. The oath you've been given is a very similar oath, same oath that would be given to you in a court of law. Although we're a little more relaxed here today, it carries with it the same weight and solemnity that being in a court of law would have. What's important is that when the court reporter is all done with what she does, she's going to present to you or to your attorney an original transcript of what is said here today. Everything that is spoken in this room, she's taking down on her machine, and she'll cause a booklet to be prepared. It will read very much like a play that you might have had in school. The name of the person that speaks will be identified on the left. Then, from then on, what is said will be on the right. Whether it's a question or an answer, it will be on the right. What's different between this and a play is that there are no stage directions here. So if you move or shake or wiggle or nod or describe with your hands what you're trying to explain, we won't have any way of knowing that because the court reporter won't take it down. She'll just take down what is spoken. So it's important that you give your answers orally and clearly so that she can understand them. We won't know if you're confused, even though you throw your eyebrows and move your eyes or roll your eyes. So if you are confused, let us know, because if you understand the question, we'll assume that you understood the question. If you answer the question, we will think you understood it. Do you understand that so far? Yes. Okay, you're doing well by answering yes rather than yeah and uh-huh. They don't spell very well, and the definitions of those two words are a little tough to agree upon sometimes. So if you can give a yes or no answer, we prefer that over yeah, uh-huh, and huh-uh, and those kind of things. Is there any reason why we shouldn't proceed today? No. Have you consumed any alcohol or medication that would interfere with your ability to testify here now? No. We're here because of a personal injury that you suffered as a result of a traffic accident. Is that correct? Yes. Can you tell me when the accident happened? August 20th. Do you recall what year it was? It was in 2006. Do you recall what day of the week it was? It was I believe it was on a Wednesday. Can you tell us the time of day? It was like around 7 or 7:30. Can you tell me what type of vehicle you were in? It was a white Toyota Corolla. Can you identify the driver of that vehicle? She's a female. Her name is Iris Lopez. Iris, Iris. Like as in the flower? Yes. When was the last time you saw Iris? I don't remember. Was it within the last week or so? No, it was in the summertime or the wintertime. Last year. I don't remember. How did you come to know Iris? Oh, she's been a friend of mine from middle school. What middle school did you attend? Sequoia Middle School. What city was that in? That was in Fontana. Did you both go on to high school? Did you attend high school together? Yes. And Iris did the same. You went to the same high school? Yes. So you've known her all through middle school? Yes. Did you both graduate from high school? Yes. Did she finish high school with you? Not with me, but she graduated a class before I did. When did you graduate from? 2016. High school? I'm sorry. Yes, that is why you need to wait until I finish my question before you answer, okay? Okay. So when did you graduate from high school? It was in 2000. Okay, so at the time of this accident, you had already graduated from, yes, high school. One thing I didn't mention in the beginning, but I notice we are having a little problem with is in the natural conversation, we have a tendency to want to move it along, especially when you're listening to me talk. But it's important that you wait until my question is completely finished before you give your answer, so you don't give the incorrect answer or have a confused record, okay? Okay. All right, so give yourself a little bit of time after I finish what I say before you respond, okay? I will try to do the same for you because she can only take down one person speaking at a time. When we read back a record that people don't respect that order, we have a real tough time understanding what was meant by the answers. And we want to make this as clean as possible. All right? Okay. Before the accident, had you gone for rides with Iris as she drove? Yes. And where did Iris live at the time that you last knew her? In the city of Fontana. Have you been to her house? Yes. Have you looked at the police report in this accident, in this case? No, I haven't. The police report indicates that Iris lived at 6987 Frankfurt in Fontana. Does that sound familiar to you? The street name does, but not the house number. Okay, is it because you don't recall the name of the street, or is that an incorrect street? That's the name of the street, but I don't recall the number to her house. Okay, and how many times before the accident had you been to her home? Like around 4 or 5 times. Has she moved from there, do you know? No, I don't. When is the last time you were at her house? When was the last time I was at her house? Yes, like 2 days before the accident. And you haven't been back since? No. Have you talked with her since the accident? Yes. On how many occasions? Probably twice. This accident happened in the summertime, is that correct? Correct. Do you know when you first got into Iris's car on the day of the accident for the first time that day? Yes. Where were you at that time? I was at my house. What time of day did you first get into the car? It was like around 7:10, like before we left. And where did you live at the time? It was the same address. How long have you lived there? 5 years, 5, 6 years. That's 5 or 6 years as we speak today, as opposed to the time of the accident. Is that correct? Right. Did you and Iris have plans of a place to go and things to do that evening? Yes. What were they? My brother was playing at a nightclub. He's a disc jockey or a DJ. That's our destination was in Pomona. I'm assuming this is your older brother? Yes. Do you know what club it was? No, I don't. Do you remember the route you took upon leaving your house? We were going towards the freeway. which would be westbound towards the 10. Okay, now do you recall, did you get on the 10 freeway? Yes. And do you recall at what place, what street you got onto the 10 freeway? At Valley. Was there a particular time that you expected to arrive at the nightclub in Pomona? No, not a certain time, no. Had you been there before? Yes, once. Do you remember the name of the nightclub? No, I don't. Do you remember what street it was on? No, I don't. Was it an all-aged club? No, it's an over 21 club. And you had gotten in there? I've been there. Just one time I was there before. Did you carry with you a special ID to get in? Yes, just my ID. But you weren't 21 at the time? No. Okay, and he could have 2 guests with him, but it don't matter of their age limit. Do you know how old Iris was at the time? At the time of the accident? Yes, 19. Now that you've graduated from high school and you are attending some other school, have you attended any? Yes. What school have you? Chaffee College. Are you enrolled there now? No. How long did you go to Chaffee College? 2 semesters. What did you study there? Correctional science. You started there in the fall of 2006? Yes. Did you attended school from the beginning in the fall of 2006? Yes. Can you tell me what courses you took at Chaffee in the fall of 2006? Juvenile delinquency, correctional science class, psychology classes, and language arts, or English. Did you take any PE? No. Was any required? No. How did you do in those courses? What kind of grade average did you get the first semester? Pretty good. Okay. I passed all of my classes. Okay, so after the spring of 2007, did you go to any other school? No, I attended the beginning of the second semester, and that's when I stopped going. You dropped out? I dropped out. Are you presently employed? Yes. What kind of work do you do? I'm a nurse assistant. Have you had any nursing training? Yes. Where? At Fontana High School. So that was before you went out to Chaffee? Right. For whom do you work? At the Ritchie Canyon Rehab Center. Can you help us with the spelling on that? It's R-E-C-H-E. Oh, Ritchie Canyon? Yeah, Ritchie Canyon. How long have you been employed there? 10 months. Do you remember how long you were traveling on the freeway? Strike that. Do you remember where the accident happened? It happened on the 10 freeway. Exactly whereabouts? No, I don't. You were westbound on the 10 freeway? Yes. Do you remember first getting on the 10 freeway? Yes. Do you remember what lane of traffic, how many lanes of traffic were on the 10 freeway when you first got on? When Valley turns into the freeway. That's the entrance for the freeway. There's 5 lanes on that freeway. And if we call the first lane that you get onto the number 5 lane, right? And the lane that's closest to the divider, the number 1 lane, for the purposes of today, if we can keep that numbering straight, I'm assuming that getting on the freeway at Valley, she entered the number 5 lane. Is that correct? That's correct. Can you estimate, or do you know how long she stayed in the number 5 lane before the accident happened? No, I don't. I'm going to switch transcripts, okay? All of a sudden, my allergies kicked in. All right. All right. I'm going to pick right back up to 160 again right now, okay? I worked my way to 160 in the last one, so we're going to just pick right back up, okay? Oh, Catherine. I just do 2 strokes for liable. Liable, and 1 for libel. Yep, that's exactly right. Libel, L long I, B L, and then liable. 2 strokes for liable. Yeah, L long I, lie, and then come back for ABL. Yep, for liable. That's exactly what I do. Oh, we lost Pandora. All right, let's pick up right at 160, okay? Here we go. This is also defense. Here we go, defense kind of day. So, as far as you know, when the argument started out, it was actually Mr. Gates that had a problem with Mr. Smith over Mr. Gates' son, right? I truly believe that. Okay, and then while this problem was going on, did Mr. Smith ever tell you that he actually had a problem with Mr. Gates over this? Well, did Mr. Smith tell me that he had a problem with Mr. Gates? Oh, Mr. Smith was just upset that he kept being encountered by Mr. Gates over this same issue that Mr. Smith believed was squashed. Okay, a non-issue, correct? Exactly. So it was really Mr. Gates that kept, more or less, pestering Mr. Smith, right, over this problem? Mr. Gates continued to approach Mr. Smith, according to Mr. Smith. Okay, in the recorded statement that you did with Mr. Smith after you arrived back to California, did Mr. Smith tell you that when the shooting occurred, Mr. Gates had either a screwdriver or a knife? Did he tell me that the shooting didn't occur? He said that he was confronted by Mr. Gates, who had what he believed would be a screwdriver and a knife. The shooting didn't take place until after Mr. Smith went up to his room, got his gun, followed, chased him down in the park, and then shot him. So what I'm asking you is this. I'm asking you, after Mr. Smith retrieved his gun and he went out in the park and he allegedly shot Mr. Gates, did Mr. Gates have a knife or a screwdriver at the time that Mr. Smith allegedly shot him? You're asking me if I know that Mr. Gates had a knife or a screwdriver at that time? I do not know. Mr. Smith did not say that he displayed a knife or a screwdriver. According to the victim, Mr. Gates, he says that he never had a knife or a screwdriver. Just so I can be clear, upon Mr. Smith retrieving the gun and going out to the park, Mr. Smith didn't tell you that Mr. Gates at that time, or Mr. Smith allegedly shot Mr. Gates when he allegedly had a knife or a screwdriver? No. Did Mr. Smith tell you that Mr. Gates threatened to kill him? Yes, he did. Did he say kill him with what? He told him he was going to leave and get his homies, and this was across the street from the park during the initial confrontation. I'm sorry, Detective Hearns. When we say he was going to go get his homies, who was going to go get the homies? You asked it if it was Mr. Gates. That would be the he. Mr. Gates said he was going to go get his homies. Okay, and then what happened? Mr. Smith went upstairs and retrieved his gun. And is it true that Mr. Smith told you that Mr. Gates said that he was actually going to go get a gun? I'm sorry, what? Is it true that Mr. Gates told Mr. Smith, sorry, strike that. Is it true that Mr. Smith told you that Mr. Gates said that he was going to go get a gun? I don't recall. Who is the he in that? Is it true that Mr. Smith told you that Mr. Gates said that Mr. Gates was going to go get a gun? Okay, if I understand this correctly, I don't recall Mr. Smith telling me that Mr. Gates had told him that he himself was going to go get a gun. He said that he was going to, Mr. Gates said that he was going to go get his homies. I guess. I don't know. 4, 5, 6. I don't know. I'm not a gang expert, you know. But I took it to mean that, you know, maybe he was going to go get his buddies, his cousins, family. I don't know. Okay. And then when Mr. Smith retrieved the gun and came back to the park and encountered Mr. Gates, you said that Mr. Smith said he couldn't let Mr. Gates do this. Yeah, it was words to that effect. Mr. Smith told me that he had told Gates, I can't let you do this. And did you ask Mr. Smith what he meant by, I can't let you do this? Yes. What did he mean by that? He didn't elaborate. So he didn't say Mr. Smith did not say, uh-huh. And you said that Mr. Smith, when you asked him, why didn't you ask the cops? Mr. Smith said because he couldn't get respect like that, correct? He didn't want to be a snitch. Did he also say he couldn't get respect? Yes. Did he say who he wasn't going to get respect from? No. Okay, I have no further questions. Anything else? No. All right, thank you. Ms. Brown, the people called Deputy Johnson. Okay, you do solemnly state that the evidence you shall give in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Yes, thank you. Please state and spell your name for the record. My name is Tom Johnson, T-O-M, Johnson, J-O-H-N-S-O-N. Good morning. Good morning, Your Honor. Ms. Brown. Good morning, Deputy Johnson. Good morning. What is your occupation? Deputy Sheriff. Who is your employer? Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Department. For how long have you been so employed? 4 years. What is your current assignment? Currently assigned to the Santa Barbara City Gang Team. Prior to becoming a sworn law enforcement officer, did you attend an academy? Yes, ma'am. During your attendance at that academy, did you participate in a post-certified course that dealt with taking reports and testifying at preliminary hearings? Yes. Was that, strike that. Did you successfully complete the course? Yes. Could you please describe for us your training and experience with regards to gangs and gang investigations? Yes. Prior to becoming a sworn deputy, I attended a 6-month training academy through the Sheriff's Department, during which I received an 8-hour block of instruction on gang awareness. After being sworn as a deputy, I was assigned to the Los Angeles Rehabilitation Center. During my time at Los Angeles Rehabilitation Center, I contacted several hundred low-level criminal street gang members, including members from African American and Hispanic outlaw motorcycle gangs. During my contact with those gang members, I learned aspects of gang subculture, such as ranking, structure, taxation, gang policies, punishment for noncompliance, things of that nature. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to stop there. And Catherine had to run. Okay. So would you like to do a one-page read back, or do you need to run as well?
Actually, yeah, let's do the read back.
Okay, perfect. All right. So I will do this once at 160, then at 140, and one at 120.
Okay.
Okay, all right, here we go. It's going to be playing it. Oh, let me mute you. Here we go. Where did the money come from? The money came from Bill McIntyre. All of the money? Yes. Was this money to be a loan from Mr. McIntyre? Yes. What were the terms of repayment of the loan? I don't recall. Was a promissory note signed? No. Was anything repaid on this loan? Yes. How much was repaid? I don't recall. What was the interest rate on the loan? There was no interest. Where did the money come from to repay part of the loan? I don't remember. Did you pay off part of the loan by check? No. What was the form of payment of the part of the loan amount that was paid? I believe it was in cash. Can you give me an order of magnitude? Do you mean about $10,000 or $100,000? I don't recall an exact amount. It was about $10,000. Was it all paid in cash? Yes, it was. Why was it all paid in cash? Because that is what he said that he wanted. Where did Mr. McIntyre get the money to lend you? I don't know. You are quite sure that whatever the amount was you put down on the house, that it all came from McIntyre? Yes. All right. I'm just putting a little note here so I know we stopped at a certain location. All right, now I'm going to do that again at 140. Here we go. Ready? Where did the money come from? The money came from Bill McIntyre. All of the money? Yes. Was this money to be a loan from Mr. McIntyre? Yes. What were the terms of repayment of the loan? I don't recall. Was a promissory note signed? No. Was anything repaid on this loan? Yes. How much was repaid? I don't recall. What was the interest rate on the loan? There was no interest. Where did the money come from to repay part of the loan? I don't remember. Did you pay off part of the loan by check? No. What was the form of payment of the part of the loan amount that was paid? I believe it was in cash. Can you give me an order of magnitude? Do you mean about $10,000 or $100,000? I don't recall an exact amount. It was about $10,000. Was it all paid in cash? Yes, it was. Why was it all paid in cash? Because that is what he said that he wanted. Where did Mr. McIntyre get the money to lend you? I don't know. You are quite sure that whatever the amount was you put down on the house, that it all came from McIntyre? Yes. Okay, last time at 120. Where did the money come from? The money came from Bill McIntyre. All of the money? Yes. Was this money to be a loan from Mr. McIntyre? Yes. What were the terms of repayment of the loan? I don't recall. Was a promissory note signed? No. Was anything repaid on this loan? Yes. How much was repaid? I don't recall. What was the interest rate on the loan? There was no interest. Where did the money come from to repay part of the loan? I don't remember. Did you pay off part of the loan by check? No. What was the form of payment of the part of the loan amount that was paid? I believe it was in cash. Can you give me an order of magnitude? Do you mean about $10,000 or $100,000? I don't recall an exact amount. It was about $10,000. Was it all paid in cash? Yes, it was. Why was it all paid in cash? Because that is what he said that he wanted. Where did Mr. McIntyre get the money to lend you? I don't know. You are quite sure that whatever the amount was you put down on the house, that it all came from McIntyre? Yes. All right. So if you want, you and I can each take a Q and an A.
Okay.
And you let me know when you find your spot.
Okay. 1 second.
Found it? Okay.
No. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay, I got it.
All right. So I'll do the first one. Okay. So the question, where did the money come from? Answer, the money came from Bill McIntyre.
Okay. Question. I guess I messed up. Okay. I have did all of the money.
So yeah, it should just be all of the money.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see what I did. Yeah. I messed up on the Q.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Okay. So that was Q, all of the money, and answer yes.
Awesome. Question, was this money to be a loan from Mr. McIntyre? Answer, yes.
Question, what were the terms of repayment of the loan? Answer, I don't recall.
Awesome. Question, was a promissory note signed? Answer, no.
Question, was anything repaid to this loan? Answer, yes.
Oh, do you have on? Was anything repaid on?
I have 2.
Okay, and maybe I said 2. Yeah, I could very well have said that.
Oh, I don't know. I think I misstroked that a lot, so.
Okay, no worries. Question, how much was repaid? Answer, I don't recall.
Question, what was the interest rate on the loan? Answer, there was no interest.
Perfect. Question, where did the money come from to repay part of the loan? Answer, I don't remember.
Question, did you pay off part of the loan by check? Answer, no.
Question, what was the form of payment of the part of the loan amount that was paid? Answer, I believe it was in cash.
Question, can you give me an order of magnitude? Do you mean about $10,000 or $100,000? Answer, I don't recall an exact amount. It was about $10,000.
Perfect. Question, was it all paid in cash? Answer, yes, it was.
Question, why was it all paid in cash? Answer, because that is what he said that he wanted.
Question, where did Mr. McIntyre get the money to lend you? Answer, I don't know.
Question, you are quite sure that whatever the amount was put down, or whatever the amount was you put down on a house, that it all came from McIntyre? Answer, yes.
Awesome. Great job. Great job. So we'll finish the read back on this one tomorrow. Are you able to come tomorrow morning?
I should be able to. I think so, yeah.
Okay, good. Good. Okay, well, hopefully I see you in the morning.
Yeah. I wish I could show you Butters. He got shaved last week. He looks really cute.
He did.
Yeah.
That is just so weird that your screen is green like that. I can't figure it out.
Yeah, I know.
Nobody else's does that. I can just see a silhouette of you.
Yeah, that's like it has a little box on the top, and that's what I'm seeing too.
Yeah. Okay, so you can see. Yeah, it's like a green silhouette.
Yeah.
Darn it.
Oh well.
Well, we'll have to all get together and meet somewhere, and you could bring Butters.
Uh-huh.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
I would love to meet him.
It's getting hot down there, though. I was going to bring him to show Pandora this afternoon, or I mean this morning, but we were worried, or I was worried it was too hot.
Yeah, it is. It's starting to get warm, definitely. And then I'm always afraid to leave the window down too far that somebody might steal my dog, you know?
Uh-huh.
So, well, I hope I get to see you in the morning. Congratulations on your machine.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I love this thing.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. So glad. Yeah, I'm sure you're gonna love it and see a huge difference too.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I really feel like it's like making I guess it's helping me with accuracy.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
And I
sure
really
it
love
is.
it because yeah, oops, sorry. Like I was
Okay.
telling Pandora this morning, there's this really neat feature on it, which is like as I'm writing, it'll suggest briefs. So
And
yeah,
it felt good.
yeah,
Oh, that's so awesome. Well, if you go anywhere, take it inside with you wherever you go. Don't leave it out in your car.
uh-huh.
You read those every once in a while. Somebody will say, "Oh, someone stole my machine out of my car."
Oh, I heard that. I heard. I think I heard once. Were you the one who told me like somebody got their machine stolen and then they found it on Craigslist or? Yeah.
And then another person, Chelsea Proto, she got her machine stolen, and she found it was weird because she got it stolen out of the parking lot of where she worked, and there was a pawn shop not too far away, and she just happened to go in there, and they had taken it to the pawn shop, and she found it, so she bought it back.
Oh wow, that sucks.
But I guess I don't know if they caught him, but the police came and looked at the cameras and were able to, you know, I don't know if they caught him, but were able to see who it was that stole it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so just don't leave it in your car.
Yeah.
So, all right, Nora, well, have a great night.
You too.
Okay, I'll see you tomorrow morning, hopefully. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.